Are you ready to unlock the hidden treasure trove of tax deductions that can actually save you thousands? Every dollar counts, and understanding those deductions as a small business owner is like finding money you didn't even know you had. So grab your notebook and let's dive in. Your bottom line will thank you. Hi, and welcome to Beyond the Stamp, where we help you sign and seal your success. I'm Suzy Sivkov. I'm joined by Sue Hope, founding director of NotaryAssist Software, and she is here to be my tax time Tango partner. We're going to be doing the deduction dance and exploring tax advantages for all small business owners. And of course, being the National Notary Association, we'll also share some extra good news for our notary entrepreneurs. So Sue, thank you for joining us. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you for having me. It's a great time of year. It's busy, but I'm excited to talk taxes and save money.
I'm excited that this is going to be a positive conversation. You know, when it comes to tax time, a lot of people, there's a lot of dread.
Yes.
But this is going to be, you know, somewhat informative, but also more about how we can take advantage of these small business owner tax advantages. So tell us a little bit about how you started out. I know you started out as a notary, just trying to find a way to make extra money as you're raising your kids. So tell us about your notary journey.
My notary journey. Well, I started in-house as a 9-to-5 notary, and I wound up leaving that to be home and have a more flexible schedule for my children as they were growing and busy. I quickly learned that being a notary in-house was very different to having a notary business out in the field, and I learned very quickly that I needed a system to help me. I had to turn to something, and my shoebox of receipts just wasn't cutting it anymore.
The dusty shoebox.
The dusty shoebox. It was so rude. It did not total up anything. It was making mistakes. It was leaving money, and I was just terrified to look at it anytime April came around.
Oh no.
I have a very, very smart, intelligent husband, thank the Lord, and he said there has to be a better way. And I'm like, please let me know what it is, because I can't find it. And lo and behold, NotaryAssist was born. Our system was born, and it proved what my biggest fear was, and that was I was leaving a lot of money on the table. I was not taking advantage of all of my tax deductions, and I wasn't benefiting from keeping diligent records. So I don't want you to fall into those same pitfalls. I want you to be able to save money and be successful in any business that you're trying to do.
Right, and you know what? You were telling me the other day that your system isn't just for notaries, and that's why I'm excited that we have some other small business owners. Your system is serving people that are like masseuse, traveling masseuses.
It is incredible what people are using our system for, and this is great. We have traveling masseuses or mobile masseuses. We have handymen. We have field inspectors. We have process servers. We have exam proctors. They're leveraging technology and being able to keep track of their appointment-based business.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get into the talk, but first a quick disclaimer. We are not tax professionals and cannot give you specific tax advice. So make sure you talk to your professionals about your taxes, but this is going to be a great conversation to get you started and to point you in the right direction. So let's cover the bad stuff first. Do we really have to pay taxes?
Sadly, yes.
All of us.
Every single one of us is going to pay income tax on every dollar, every dime that we make. So we have to be prepared.
Okay, but if you're a small business owner, then you also have to pay self-employment tax.
Yep, that's another double whammy. So if you are working yourself as a self-employed individual, you don't have an employer to withhold tax liabilities for you on your behalf. So it's up to you to do it yourself. So there's a big difference there between a W-2 or an employee versus an entrepreneur or a contract worker that does their own thing.
So like if you look at a W-2, the employer is taking out Social Security, Medicare, things like that.
Correct.
Which if you're self-employed, then that's kind of why you have to pay this extra tax is to cover those.
Yes, if you pay into the system, you get to withdraw from the system when you retire. So there's a benefit there. You have to pay into the system to be able to pull out from it when you do retire. So self-employment tax is a mixed bag.
But let's jump into some good news, okay?
Yes.
As a self-employed individual, small business owner, because you are investing in your business, there are expenses.
Yes.
And the good news is that means
Deductions.
The deductions dance. Okay, so let's bring out our wheel of deductions.
You know, let's spin that wheel. We can talk about all the deductions. There's so many out there, and some that you may know and some that you may not have thought of. So let's talk about it.
Let's go ahead and just start spinning that wheel and see what we come up with.
I get to just spin it really fast?
Spin it.
Okay, I can't see.
The first one is actually one that I wanted to ask you about. Home office versus storefront. What can you deduct? What can't you deduct? So if you're running your business out of your home, then can you deduct a portion of those costs?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's the caveat to that. Yes, you can have a home office, but what the rules are is it has to be its own space. You can't have it be dual purpose. If it's a bedroom that you're using for grandma, that is not your office. You have to actually have its own space. So it has to be its own little area that is solely used for your business work. So what's nice about that is then you can actually take the dimensions of that space and figure out what the percentage of your home is for that office space. That gives you a percentage that you can then work with to estimate some of the other things that you can take a portion of that run your business. And rules change for this all the time. So really talk with your tax professional because they're the ones that are trained to help you with this. But you want to keep things separated out. Your refrigerator in your office is your office supplies. Your refrigerator in your kitchen is your personal.
All right, good. Okay, let's keep spinning.
Keep spinning.
We have phone and internet, which we kind of talked about.
We just touched on, yes.
When it comes to the utilities within your office, be it storefront or home office, those can be deducted to an extent.
To an extent,
okay. But, what about like your cell phone?
Cell phone, if you're using that and you bought that phone for your business, that is a business purchase. So you want to keep track of that receipt. That's your business line. I actually have a personal phone and I have a business phone. Why do I carry two phones? For me, it's just easier. Other people in a device now, you actually have two SIM cards. So now you can split, but you have to allocate your time. How much of that use for that phone is business and how much of that use of that phone is personal? So you do have to keep percentages.
Wow, okay. All right, we're going to talk about how important it is to keep track of all of that in a little bit, but let's keep spinning. Let's talk about some more deductions.
What do we got?
Oh, notary tools. Okay, so, we're talking about small businesses in general.
Yes.
But of course, we're going to focus on some of the notary startup costs and the notary deductions. So when it comes to your journal, your seal, all the things you need if you are running a notary business, those are deductible.
They are. I mean, you're keeping track of your receipt book, your journal. If you are a RON, if you're paying for a RON platform and you have a subscription, that is deductible. These are all sorts of things. Start thinking about what am I spending money on and can this be used specifically for my business? This will help you put things into categories so you can maximize your savings.
Right on. Let's keep spinning. Okay, travel. So like your car, your mileage. Okay, now those are kind of two different topics. Mileage, right? Let's talk about mileage. When you're traveling, let's say you're a mobile notary and you're traveling to a signer.
Any mile you drive for business has an assigned value. So you actually get to accrue value if you're taking the mileage rate deduction for your business to the tune of 70 cents for 2025. Business miles are 70 cents for 2025. So we want to keep track of that. When you leave your home and go to your signing appointment and come back, that is a round trip. That's a business round trip, eligible for this 70-cent mileage value. Now, that's not the only trip, Suzy. When you have to go be sworn in for your oath of office, that's a business trip too, so you want to keep track of that.
What about going to Staples to buy supplies?
To buy supplies, that becomes a business trip. So we want to keep track of that. These are some of the ones that we forget. But also travel can also mean when you're traveling to go to the NNA conference in Vegas this year. So if you're traveling, you want to keep track of the hotel, the plane tickets, the miles that you drive to go to that event, or even if you're doing a networking event just down the street. These are miles that you can use to verify your 70 cents.
Okay, let's spin. All right, we've got software like NotaryAssist.
Nice.
Yes, and then things like Canva if you're paying like a premium, or Adobe.
Any of your remote online or remote in-person notarization software tools. These are all softwares that you can use for your business. And yes, the payments or the dues that are associated with them are tax deductible.
Perfect. Okay, let's spin. Donations and sponsorships. I'm so glad we landed on this.
Yay!
I didn't even think of it, and then you brought it up the other day.
Yes.
So the idea that when you go out in the community and you support things,
Yes.
those are write-offs.
Those are write-offs. So if you're donating to benefit your business and advertise, you might also be donating your time to beautify a parking lot or the school down the road or your church. These are ways that you can get out there. One of the best ways to be the notary in your area is to be in your area and to be a part of the community.
So let's just jump into marketing real quick. Even though we haven't spun the marketing
I'm sure
tab
I can
here.
find
It's the yellow one. Go ahead and move it right to the top there. Not the yellow.
This way. This way. That way.
So like marketing, business cards.
Yes.
Pop-in stuff.
Donuts. If you're bringing bagels to, and you're putting your business cards on there to
Branded
help.
pens.
Branded pens.
Yeah.
Your shirts. Any kind of clothing that you might have that has your logo on it. Anything like that.
All right, spin it.
Spin
Let's
it,
do more.
spin it. What do we
I
got?
just can't wait.
Well, let's get to
see what's
do we
next.
got education? Nope, that was marketing. I saw this one right here. Look.
Education. Look how we randomly landed on that one. Okay, and of course, notaries, you've got to get your training. You got to know your stuff and continued education because those laws can change, right?
Always.
But and notary signing agents, make sure you get certified, right?
Always. And background checks and fingerprinting.
All of that.
All of this.
Okay, but then also other professions. You need training, you need education. Maybe you want to take a tax class. At conference, things like that. Going to conferences. Yes. Okay, spin. Let's see if there's anything else we want to cover here. So retirement.
When you're a small business owner, it's really challenging to save because you're working so hard to get your business up and running. It's one thing to say you've made a certain amount of money. It's another thing to say I've earned it and I've kept it. So you want to try and have a system in place. Now, even if it's saving 1 penny, it's better than no pennies. Little pennies grow into big pennies. So let's just think about how you can invest in things like when you're a W-2, you have an option of a 401k. When you're a 1099, you don't have a 401k, but there are other options out there. There are things like a solo 401k that are available to somebody that works for themselves, or a Roth IRA, or just a specific IRA. For details, seek out a tax professional to give you a tax plan that will work for your tax situation.
Awesome. Okay, Sue, so we've talked about all the deductions. I'm so excited, but we need a way to keep track of all of this. And not in one of your old dusty shoe boxes. So
come on, the shoebox is so much fun. It's a real pain in the butt.
Right, really right. Is. So let's talk about some different options. I see you have something special sitting there.
So there's many ways you can keep track. When you're just getting started, you could use something. This is what I used when I first got started. It's the signing agent logbook. And this is just a repository of pages that break questions down for you, but it helps you figure out exactly what you did for each appointment.
Okay, let me interrupt you real quick because I want to make sure folks know that this is not a notary journal. Your notary journal is where you keep track of all of your notarial acts, the details about the document, the notarization, the signer. The logbook, however, is your personal tool to keep track of stuff for tax time. So it includes things like how much money you made for the assignment.
Correct. And who you might have met at the assignment, where did you go?
How far,
how many miles. It's helping you ask questions to think like a business. This is helping you put your business hat on. So what this is doing is different than what you're required to do from your notary perspective. So it's different. These two are separate.
So we've got, the logbook option, the Excel spreadsheet if you are good with that kind of stuff, but really something that's built specifically to keep track of all of this digitally and then also is kind of intuitive would be your NotaryAssist software. So tell us more about how that helps. I know we have another video that we'll share in the video description. We'll share the link that actually goes into more depth about NotaryAssist, but just give us kind of an overview.
Absolutely. So NotaryAssist will help you with your mileage, your expenses, your notarial acts, your invoices, paid and unpaid. It's a tool that will help you. If you do a little bit of work each day, it will help you at tax time by just clicking a few buttons and all of a sudden everything's done. So it's about working with your business every day. It won't just happen. You have to actually have a date with your bookkeeping. There's lots of advanced ways to help you keep your business with you at all times. So check it out and visit your local app stores.
Okay, so let's talk more about, okay, I am a small business owner. I'm going to be paying not only my income tax, but now my self-employed taxes as well. I've got all these deductions. How do I know how to balance the money coming in? How, like, okay, oh, I get this big paycheck, but now I know I need to take a certain amount out to make sure that at tax time I'm not paying, you know, with money I don't have that I've already spent. So what's a really good way to kind of manage the money part?
So when you're first getting started in business, one of the best things, and I've always encouraged people to do this, is you don't have to be big to be organized. You already have a bank account, probably for your personal finances. I highly recommend that you start with a separate bank account for whatever business that you decide to do. Have something that's separate and away from your personal, that's just business related. This is putting your business hat on again. By having that, you have this fluid dynamic. So when your money's coming in, you're paying for the bills for your business in and out of that one account. But adding another account for savings will help you kind of peel away some of that revenue for each check that you're getting paid to put into your savings account to set it aside for tax time. When you do that and you break that apart a little bit, tax time isn't as scary. You've already been saving for it and you're prepared. So that just takes the whole stress, just drops it down just a little bit.
Nice, yeah.
So little things like that can set yourself up for success.
Okay, I know we're just kind of scratching the surface, but this was the idea. We wanted to make sure that we kind of gave you all the kind of bigger picture when it comes to small business, tax deductions, record keeping. But now I want to talk to notaries specifically because they have an extra special exemption.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Oh my gosh. So we just talked about how Uncle Sam wants to have not only your income tax, but self-employment tax. But if you're a notary, there's a special tax benefit. If you are a notary, you get to exempt the notarial fee value from self-employment tax. What does that mean, Suzy?
What does that mean? Okay, so basically, and by the way, all of this, it depends on what state you're in, what your actual notarial fee values are. So if your state says you can charge a maximum of $10 per notarization or per signature, okay, and you got to get all that straight, then that means that when I go to an appointment,
yes,
if I'm handling it as a signing agent and I'm getting, let's say, just for the sake of, you know, coming up with a number.
Just a sample,
$150 for the entire signing appointment. That's to be able to handle the documents for the title company, take them to the signer, get all of the signatures and initials, and then do the notarizations and then send everything back to the title company. Yep. So that's basically what a signing agent does. Let's say I'm getting $150 fee for all of it. Okay?
Correct. Yep.
Now, if I notarize 5 documents at that appointment and I can charge $10 per notarization, then that means there's $50 worth of notarial fees.
Notarial value. Yep.
Right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that means that I've got 150 total. 50 notarial fees. That means I'm only going to have to pay that self-employment tax on the 100 left.
Correct. That's the
a
difference.
30%
savings.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you have the ability to exempt it should you wish to. What's really nice about this exemption is you can exempt it, but you also can pay into it. And what I'm talking about is if you're a young notary and this is what you're going to do for a long time, you might want to pay into it. Just like I said before, you're putting money into a bucket so you can take out of the bucket when you retire. If you're an older or more experienced, more mature notary, you've already done all of your payments into Social Security, you might want to exempt it. Like I said, everybody's tax liability is unique, so talk to your tax professional to see what the pluses and minuses are and make sure it's right for you.
Okay, so for a lot of you who are just kind of curious about this whole small business thing and maybe starting a side gig or a career where you're going to be self-employed, this is just going to be some great information to get you started. But if you're already in it, what do people do if they're kind of in that rush at the last minute?
Don't panic. Just breathe. It's going to be okay. Try to take your time as much as possible and just put some music on, get in your right headspace, and kind of close yourself off and really focus, because this is a really important time so that you can reconcile, make sure that everything that you're doing is lining up. So you want to pull all those receipts. You want to pull off that dusty shoebox. You want to get it out. You want to look through it. You want to look at all your pay stubs. You want to look at all your miles driven. You want to think about, what have I done this year? Have I accomplished, have I recorded all the events I attended, all the classes that I took? You want to think that way, and you really want to get your headspace right. Don't rush because you could leave things on the table. But get into your system, whatever system it is that you've decided to do. Get into your system and get it written, get it going. There are some systems out there that you are able to take pictures of those receipts so that you preserve them in case of an audit down the road. You want to be able to get that information logged in. NotaryAssist, for example, does have the ability, if you've got confirmation appointments in digital format, you can actually forward it into NotaryAssist so you're not manually doing all the data entry. That can save you time. So look for things that are available, or look for tools that are available to you that will help you accomplish your goal in a short amount of time. And if you're really panicked, file an extension so that you have time. Give yourself grace. If you don't want to rush just to maybe miss out on something. So file that extension if you're not 100% ready.
Oh, Sue, this has been a great chat. But I want to make sure we review everything that we talked about a little
Summarize
bit.
it.
Summarize all the most important takeaways. So let's do this.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Tell them.
As a small business owner, your business structure is as unique as you are. So get with a tax professional that will help you out so that you can plan and capitalize on as many savings as possible.
Accurate and timely bookkeeping is essential if you want to save your hard-earned money and take advantage of tax deductions for business expenses.
And when it comes to business expenses and deductions, make sure you can always back it up. You want to make sure that you can defend everything that you're recording. And you want to keep those records and keep them for approximately 7 years.
If you have a notary business, always know your state's laws as a professional. Know the maximum fees you can charge for the actual notarial acts. And also consider, was it an in-person notary fee or remote online notary fee? For those of you who are remote online notaries, make sure that you keep track of all of that as well, and all of the laws around all of that. So, Sue, thank you so much for joining me today to talk taxes and deductions. Thanks for being my dance partner, and thank you and Gary for being innovative leaders in the notary industry and beyond.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure dancing and saving with you today. Woo! Bye!